Nowadays, wars are not limited to fixed fronts, but sometimes target settlements and even involve different countries. When the Russia-Ukraine war is evaluated in the next context, there is a blockage on the front line. The Russian army is unable to make progress despite all the attacks. Even Avdiivka, the only line of advance, is no longer of a strategic importance, because the strategic plan of the Ukrainian armed forces in Avdiivka was successful. In the past few days, members of the Wagner group who were expelled from the Ukrainian front were destroyed by the special operation teams of the Ukrainian armed forces. Let's take a look at the details of this extraordinary operation. As the Pioneer team, we continue to bring the Russia-Ukraine war to your screens. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so as not to miss our daily map reports and reports and the agenda. You can also support me and my team by using the super thanks button below the videos. Let's start if you are ready. The Pioneer reports. Russia's economic conditions seems to be getting tougher every day. The sanctions imposed on Russian Federation are effective and the Russian economy is struggling in many sectors. This situation is interpreted as the Russian people are ready to show a growing reaction against the Russian government. Vladimir Putin, the president of the Russian Federation, is said to be developing new methods to appease the Russian people's reaction, one of which may be to pursue a modern colonial policy. In African countries like Sudan, there are many Wagner staff. After the death of the Wagner leader Yevgeny Prigozhin in a plane crash, Russia began to use Wagner personnel in modern colonial activities. The majority of these personnel are deployed in the various countries in Africa. Wagner Group personnel were also working in Sudan to transfer a large part of country's natural resources to Russia. However, Wagner personnel were under close surveillance by the Ukrainian military. Ukrainian military intelligence and the Ukrainian armed forces continued to hunt Wagner militias not only in the occupied territories of Ukraine, but also in Russia and other countries. In recent days, the Ukrainian armed forces carried out an important operation. The Ukrainian military intelligence unit have receiving information about the Wagner militia in Sudan, shared this information with the Ukrainian general staff. The Ukrainian headquarters immediately began to preparations and a special forces unit was deployed. Their target was a Wagner group base in Sudan. Upon arrival in Sudan, the Ukrainian Special Forces team conducted reconnaissance activities in the region. The Ukrainian Special Forces team, which had previously been sent to this region, was also involved in the operation. The headquarters of the Wagner group was identified and placed under observation. According to information obtained from local sources, Wagner personnel were guarding a mine here. The revenues from this mine were an important economic resource from which the Russian Federation also received a share. Therefore, for Russia, whose economy was in a difficult situation, this mine was a very critical resource. An attack on the Wagner personnel here could have caused irreparable damage to Russia. Initially, the entrance and exit to the Wagner headquarters were identified and the changing of shifts and the number of Wagner personnel at the headquarters were determined. Some Wagner personnel were operating with rapid support units, the rebel forces in the region. Moreover, Ukraine was already internationally known to support the official government in Sudan. According to reports, one Wagner team in the region had separated with the rapid support units, with another Wagner team was still at the headquarters. Ukrainian troops were divided into the two different groups. One group waited around the perimeter of the headquarters, while the other group went after the rapid support forces moving with the Wagner personnel. Their first objective was to destroy the moving team. This would prevent any hope from reaching the headquarters. The arrival of Wagner personnel and rapid support forces at the headquarters could have caused potential problems. When the Ukrainian team pursued the Wagner personnel forces and rapid personnel units, they began a close pursuit using drones. As the convoy of 3 vehicles moved forward, the Ukrainian team followed the convoy with drones. At a point where the road narrowed, the Ukrainian team opened fire on the convoy with the drones, causing the convoy to stop. The personnel of the Russian convoy trapped in the bottleneck left the vehicle and immediately took up positions, but they were not far enough away. In the meantime, Ukrainian soldiers activated kamikaze drones, which hit the vehicle directly in the shortage areas. When the vehicle in the convoy were blown up, the Wagner special security personnel and the rapid support unit militia were destroyed. The Ukrainian operational team then left the area and withdrew to the other Ukrainian units. Now it was the turn of the headquarters operation. The Ukrainian team, which had been monitoring the headquarters, immediately took action after receiving news from their comrades. First of all, the Wagner private security personnel on the roof of the headquarters were neutralized with the sniper shots. The Wagner militia at the entrance also came under intense fire, thus securing the entrance. Afterwards, the clearance of hostile elements inside the building began. According to local sources, Ukrainian Special Forces units neutralized several Wagner personnel inside the building. At the same time, several Wagner personnel were wounded and taken prisoners. Several members of the rebel Rapid Support Forces militias were also killed or captured during the operation. The Ukrainian Special Forces unit suffered no casualties during the operation. Having successfully completed their mission, the unit returned to their headquarters together with the captured Wagner personnel and Rapid Support Forces militias. Allegedly inside the headquarters, the Ukrainian unit seized several critical documents related to Russia's presence in Sudan. These documents were shared with both the Sudanese government and the Ukrainian government. The operation carried out by the Ukrainian Special Forces in Sudan caused a great shock in Russia. Many Russian meal bloggers expressed outrage about what happened. This was because the Russian government had repeatedly said in its information programs that the Ukrainian army's strength was declining and that the resistance was collapsing along the front lines. But this incident showed that the Ukrainian army is strong enough to continue its resistance against Russia and even has the potential to take strikes a blow to Russian expansionism in another country, on another continent. It showed that the Ukraine is not only on the defensive, but can also go on the offensive. The tensions between Russian propagandists and the Russian leadership have intensified in the aftermath of this incident. Russian propagandists claim that the lies of the Russian leadership had put them in a difficult position. They also consider it a great shame that the Wagner Group, which had more successes than the Russian armed forces throughout the war, lost to the Ukrainian army in another country. What do you think? Do you think the Ukrainian army will continue its operations outside its borders? Do you consider Ukraine's intelligence activity successful? Let me know in the comments, because I read and I care about all your comments.